The 9 treasures of God Valley were so important to everyone. We're talking the celestial dragons, the pirates, the people, everyone was hunting to actually get those treasures by the end of the hunt of God Valley. And we are here to talk about what actually was in all those 9 treasures. Because literally from the latest chapters of One Piece, the number of those treasures went from 6 to 9. So now we need to talk about the whole lot. And I have my theory about what's in literally 3 of them. And stick with me till the end because it is pretty shocking once you're gonna discover those 3 treasures, I'm telling you. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below which of these treasures is gonna be your favorite. Let me know. So from the first treasure we get, for example, we understand that the devil fruit power that Kaido has, the devil fruit power that is able to actually transform him into a dragon, literally came from God Valley. And he had an understanding with Big Mom because Big Mom was like, oh yeah, you should grab one for yourself or something like that. And that's when they went on God Valley with the rocks, pirates, and all of that. And that's when Big Mom actually grabbed on some devil fruits and gave one to Kaido because that's how she was able to save his life from the events of God Valley, basically. And so the devil fruit of Kaido, we know per se, like 100% in a way, that it is coming from God Valley and one of the treasures. So that's one. Now for number 2, we've got the pawpaw fruit. So we know that Ivankov with Kuma and Ginny were actually talking about, hey, how can we actually get out of here? So Ivankov was like, hey, maybe if we can get a hold of one of the treasures, maybe that treasure will allow us to actually get out of here. And they were absolutely right, because once they were going towards the treasure and all of that, they literally grabbed onto one while they were trying to fight Big Mom off of the treasures also. And at the same time, Kuma was actually able to grab on one of the devil fruit powers, and it was the pawpaw fruit, and he ate it. And that's how he was able to become the pawpaw guy, basically, because he has paws in his hands, and basically he can do a lot of damage with those hands, just like he can protect a lot of people with those hands, And from the events of God Valley, basically that was thanks to Kuma that a lot of people actually made it out of God Valley. And the number was around like 500 that he saved just out of literally, brah, you get out of here, brah, with his paws, So the second treasure that was on God Valley is the pawpaw fruit. And now we are moving on to the third. And the third, this is total speculation, but I'm totally gonna speculate that the dragon might have gotten his devil fruit power from God Valley. And I'm probably guessing that by the end of the event of God Valley or whatever, with one of my previous theories that talked about how it might have been a Monkey D. Dragon that actually went and did something with the treasures, and I'm gonna talk about it throughout this video. Maybe that he actually took one for himself and he was like, yep, I'm gone. And from there, he ate that devil fruit power, and that devil fruit power might be the wind devil fruit power that dragon has or something. So that devil fruit power per se, we don't know per se what it might be. I'm guessing that it might be the wind power, for example, just like we've got in air with the electricity and all of that. So hey, that's another element of nature in a way. So he might have the wind power or the storm power or something like that. And from that perspective, I am thinking that the third treasure was the wind slash storm slash hurricane power that dragon might have ended up with by the end of the story, where we know him now as strong as he is. And when he saved, for example, Luffy in the very beginning of the story, when he saved him due to the weather and all of that, like he did something to the weather. So that's why I'm basing myself, yeah, that's probably a power that was one probably of the treasures of God Valley, for example. Now, moving on to number 4. Number 4, I am talking about the sword that Shamrock has. That sword may have been one of the treasures of God Valley, because hey, having a sword that literally can transform into Cerberus It's pretty much very crazy power. So I am thinking that may have been one of the treasures of God Valley that Garling has gotten himself by the end of the story of God Valley and all of that. And from there, he was using that sword up until Shamrock actually became strong enough or whatever, and then he gave him that sword of Cerberus, you know? Then when we come in on to number 5, and now I'm gonna talk about something very dark, guys, because just like in the same perspective as Luffy, when we discover that he doesn't have the Gomu Gomu no Mi, but he actually has the human fruits version Nika. So how about, for example, you have a human fruit version Davy D. Jones that they found on God Valley and that they put in one of those treasures, you know? And maybe that treasure, that only treasure is still remaining under God Valley, you know, under the water and all of that. And once you find it, you might transform yourself into David D. Jones, just like Nika with his power, you know? So maybe that is a possibility to have a devil fruit power that resembles something like that. Or maybe from what we know about the latest chapters, for example, we know that Blackbeard literally was right there in God Valley facing the celestial dragons while they were like, yes, we're gonna hunt you and all of that. So basically Blackbeard basically saw all of the worst of humanity at that point already when he was like 2 to 3 years old or something like that. And maybe from that same perspective, while he was watching all of that, maybe he was also watching all of the prizes of the championship in a way or something, and maybe he saw that they were talking about one specific one that was saying, yes, this devil fruit power is the strongest out of them all, he's the one who controls them all or whatever. And they were talking maybe about the darkness fruit that Blackbeard already has or something like that. And maybe in another theory, that darkness fruit might become actually something like this was actually the human fruit version, Davy D. Jones, which is per se allowing you to use the darkness fruit or the darkness in a way or something like that. Basically the same as Nika in a way, with Luffy on the other side with his devil fruit that became another and all of that. Same perspective, you know? That's one of my guesses for one of these treasures. But then for our last 3. Now, in the events of God Valley, we know that thanks to Monkey D. Dragon, Shanks and Shamrock basically got saved. And at the same time, Blackbeard also got saved. And everybody was like, hold on. In the latest chapters, literally the number of treasures jumped from 6 to 9. So literally a difference of 3. So I was like, hold on. Why did Ichiro Oda magically out of nowhere decided to add 3 more treasure chests, you know, once now we are literally in the backstory of everything that happened in God Valley? And that's where I was like, maybe Monkey D. Dragon actually thought of the idea of, hey, I can save those kids to get out of God Valley by actually putting them in treasure boxes, because if I put them in treasure boxes, the pirates might come for them and get them out of God Valley. You know, let me know what you guys think about this one. So basically, in the 3 last treasure chests that we get, we have literally one with Shanks, one with Shamrock, one with Blackbeard. Oh, in the latest chapter, they literally came out. One of the God's Knights basically went and grabbed on Shamrock and everything. So I guess that Shamrock is not gonna be in one of the latest treasures on God Valley. But probably in that last one, there's probably money or like a bunch of money or something like that, or so, like some kind of resource, or maybe another devil fruit power. You guys let me know that down in the comments below. What do you think about that last one? Because now I don't have no idea. I was thinking it was probably going to be Shamrock, but the God's Knight literally showed up and saved Shamrock, but not Shanks. So back to the video. The one with Shanks got picked up by Goldie Roger, because we know that Shanks grew up with Goldie Roger and all of that. So that's where it goes. But then for the one with Blackbeard, maybe one of the Rock's pirates or something like that, because they didn't know about Blackbeard, you know, they didn't know about Teach. They didn't know that it was the captain's kid, basically. So maybe one of the Rocks pirates or whatever actually picked that treasure that had Blackbeard and as soon as Blackbeard and that person, that pirate, whatever, went outside of God Valley and he discovered what was in the treasure and he saw that it was Blackbeard, he basically just probably just tossed him out and he was like, sayonara, I don't want to care for a kid right now, so Blackbeard, you teach, you know, you are on your own. So from that perspective, I totally see it as a potential scenario to what happened to Shanks, Shamrock, and Blackbeard and how they got out of the whole situation. So you guys let me know what you think about this theory down in the comments below. And on that note, guys, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to your boy's channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!